lead designer.
Matt Kronberg, co-president and CEO.
I had originally thought of the idea as an undergraduate psychology minor at Syracuse University, studying psychology, Freudian type time period to really get a feel for these types of drugs that were sold in the United States back in the early 1900s. Then again in law school, first year contract class, you go through a lot of these products and how they end up killing or misleading the public. So the idea had kind of been with me for a while, and at some point I just decided to go forward with it.
It was just a simple Craigslist ad, really, and I just jumped on board right away because it was such an interesting and challenging concept as a lead designer. So everything that we have in the company from a visual point of view, is basically my work, and I enjoy doing that. I enjoy consuming the ideas that guys have and making them real.
Jeremy and I have been friends for a number of years, and I mean, John will probably tell you I'm just here to look pretty, but no, I'm joking. I've been here since the beginning. Also, I was working actually as a real estate developer and investor for a number of years. I wound up stopping doing that right before this. The timing worked out quite perfectly. Jeremy came to me with this idea, and I absolutely loved it. I fell in love with it. I thought it was amazing. It was an amazing way to really portray the ideology behind the line, as well as they're just amazing graphics to put on T-shirts. And I mean, I'm personally a T-shirt lover. I dress rather fashionably, but I really do like the T-shirt jeans, like very simple looks. So this definitely appealed to me. And Jeremy really likes to do the back end portions of business, and I really like to do the front end portions of business. So we decided to team up and 50-50 partners on it, and we've been going strong since.
I think first and foremost is really that we're fashion with a purpose. I mean, there's really substance to be found in our brand. It's not just fashion. We aim to kind of enlighten the public's knowledge about a time period and also ask them to reflect upon what's going on in the pharmaceutical industry today. As you know, as we all grew up, children spoke out of turn. They were put on Ritalin or Adderall. In a backache, they were given Oxycontin. And we teamed up with Daytop, which is a major drug outreach program in New York City, and they were telling us during a meeting, about 1 in every 2 people that they deal with that has a drug problem is related to a prescription drug. And really, our brand is trying to bring awareness to this problem, as well as providing very interesting, fashionable clothing.
I've never really seen that much of a philosophical concept behind the brand, and I've never really felt so close to it as just everyday consumers or average person who goes and buys stuff. I think that our shirts definitely have a shock value, and they definitely are the best out there in terms of quality. I spend so much time trying to find the best fabric out there. We are using Pima cotton made in Peru. Everything else is printed and produced in the States. So we're trying to be very, socially aware of what's going on. We're not just another fashion brand. We have a concept. We have a very strong message. Take a closer look. Know what you're wearing. Know what you eat. Know what you consume as, in just an everyday life. All the designs that we have all of them have a message. On average, I think it took maybe like 2 weeks to produce one shirt. Working full time, 2 hours and stuff like that. Like, for example, the box took a month to produce and construct and die cut. It was inspired by a cigarette box, so I scanned the real cigarette box first, and then made adjustments, and then you glued the first thing, and then it finally goes into production, and then we had to find eco-friendly packaging.
It took her a while, so we did design the box. I mean, we wanted to use a cigarette box design, but you had to design the die cut because it's obviously cigarette blowing up, and then the whole exterior design took a while. I mean, now it's just a matter of ordering it. Now that we found the right person, people to order from, the correct material, and the design is done. But even still, they come unbuilt. So we can build each individual box, which is about 5 minutes per box. So when you think about it on
It's
quite a lot. It takes quite a while.
We also produce all the lookbooks and press kits here in-house. So whenever we need to make changes, it's really easy for us to be flexible since we're very, a family-based company, so to say, and everything is in-house. We're very flexible, adding information and changing it according to the needs of our buyers and bloggers, and so it's pretty cool.
Okay.
Doing everything in-house and being very close and kind of, pinpointing the ideas that we have.
In the spring, we want to do V-Nut for men and women. We plan to be adding a women's line in the fall coming up with a scoop neck. We want to be doing hoodies and long sleeves down the line. So we're looking to doing some jewelry, bags. So we have definitely a lot of things that we're considering. It means self-expression, but we're hoping that it goes beyond self-expression into creative discussion.
It's the way to reflect the society and kind of appeal to the orbit of what's going on. Like, let's say the military style is introduced for a reason, and the certain colors introduced for the reason. With American Apothecary, you have this opportunity to start educational purposes of the fashion. You can talk about what you're wearing, and people ask.
And for me, certainly it's a means of self-expression. But for me, fashion tends to be, at least before now, a little bit more simple. I mean, you put on anything that just made you feel good, so you go out there and do what you had to do with a very stable state of mind. I mean, it sounds like I'm getting too far into it, but really, how you look really goes into how you present yourself and how you do your daily activities. Whether it be with confidence or introverted, or versus introverted.
All shirts retail for $1,500 online.
Okay.
Eventually we have sort of promotional shirt for the month. Like, let's say we had Black Currant shirt for October for $35.
Actually, I was expecting, a lot of controversy because certainly this is outlandish, and I think some people know about it. There's been emails, kind of viral emails with like the campaigns that they used to have in the 1900s, but I was expecting a lot more backlash. I think a lot of people are very surprised by it, but then when they hear what our motivation is, that we, team up with these drug outreach programs, that we're really not promoting drug use or even, telling people to shy away from it. What we're really doing is kind of bringing to light something that was kind of hidden in the American past, and it's been greatly received, actually. We've been very, very happy. Well, we're really trying to grow the right way. It's why we spent the first 8 months of our 15-month history building up press and kind of background knowledge. We're here for the long run. We're trying to build a brand that is here for decades to come, and that message really resonates with first definitely New York and then the rest of the country. And to do that, you have to be very conscious of how you grow. You have to be conscious of what your consumer wants. Obviously, we're going through a very hard financial time period. The retail world is changing. So what's important for us is to move the right way, to grow the right way.
As Jeremy explained, we want to grow the right way, but with that growth, we want to grow as a clothing company, but we also want to grow as an ideology. I mean, that's part of the reason why we used such outlandish prints, is because we want people to recognize the brand so that once you've garnered their interest, now they'll go back and try and find out